Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to run you through on all the different errors we can get in Excel. Or in other words, few of the most common errors when we work in Excel, right? So the first error which we talk about is the hash error, and that's kind of when the column is not wide enough to give you the or display the complete value, it gives you that error. Now, just for an example, let's say we have this test data, and what we do is we get a multiplication of all these item IDs, right? So that's how we do. So we do product, and the product is one formula for multiplication of the different columns or maybe multiple cells. If we do this, and let's say make it B4, we are just doing 2. See, this particular value is very well visible. Now let's keep increasing these value. Now from B4, I'll make it B5, uh, visible. Let's make it B6. Again, it's visible. Now, if you see, it's right on the edges. So let's make it B7 and we click here. Now, if you see this, we get this hash value, and what it's saying is simple. The value which contains in G5 is much bigger to be displayed in the column in where we are seeing. So it just give you hashes and all. Now there are two possible solutions for this, right? Now first one is we decrease the font size and we get this value over there, or else we do undo with the control Z, or we increase the column size and we get this value again, right? So one of the common errors, but there is a catch in this, right? Let's go back and let's redo this formula again, right? We put it B7. Now, till now, if you've been noticing, I was just clicking any other cell. Now, this time, I'm going to press enter. See, it automatically changes the width of the cell. Now, this is an since Office 2016, this is an additional feature, or maybe I would say from Office 2013, this is a auto format of the column size, where if the value is bigger and you're putting and hitting an enter at the end of the formula, it will readjust. If it needs to expand, the column will re-expand. But again, if we come back here and we do change this to maybe B3 or B4, it doesn't shrink, but it expands. So this is one thing to notice, okay? Uh, Normally, these hash errors is always there once the value is big enough. There is no other reason you get this hash errors in there. Now, the second error we are going to talk about is we normally get this name error, right? It starts with hash, name, and then question mark, maybe just to see, right? So this is the error I'm talking about. And if you see, I did it quickly. Now, if we go back in the product or the formula, what I did was I didn't enter the correct spelling of the formula. Now, it should be product, which is I'm typing now, but instead of product, I just remove one of the alphabet or misspell the formula, and we get this name error. Now, to get rid of this is we have to go back, check the exact spelling of the formula, or else the references are valid as well. Now, the the most common reason of this formula would be always a spelling, or you have missed something else in the references. To correct it, simple, go back, check the spelling, check if you have given all the attributes, and if you have a text, it's there and you're matching. So let's say maybe in one of other examples to check, we are just doing a match and I'm matching for apples, right? So what I'm doing is I want to match apple. Array is this, and the match type is I want exact match. So let's make it 0 for the exact match. And now if you see, we get the same error name. Now the reason for this error, because this is supposed to be a text, and this should be in inverted commas, which I've not done it. I do it, we get it, right? The match, the first match is there. And if we want to change it to apples, we get 8, which is the eighth sequence number 8 in the array, which we have specified. Right. So next one would be the value error, right? Now, this error normally is arithmetic error, or we can say, let's do this way. Let's do a multiplication of this and this, right? It's just two formulas. We get the value. But let's do a multiplication of B3 with C3. Now, there's no answer, right? Because what we're doing is we are multiplying a number with the text, which is Excel is saying, wow, it's not possible, right? So it's giving you value error. This error will only comes in when you're trying to multiply a number or maybe two different values which are of different kind, right? Percentage or any other thing. It should be number to number, or in other words, Excel doesn't know how to calculate. That's when we get this value error. Now, there is one other error, which is a reference error. Now, normally it's been given as hash ref and then the exclamation sign. So maybe let's do this. Let's add this D3 and your E3, right? This is a normal addition we are doing, which is giving you an answer. Now move it up. Instead of down, we are moving it up. Now, again, you see this value which we were talking about? We are adding two tags. It's not giving us a value. Now, if we move further, now if you see, this is E1 and D1. We are getting 0 because there's nothing in there. Now let's move it one further up. Now if you see this reference, and over there in the formula, you're seeing this reference as well. Now the reason we are getting reference, when we scroll it up, this formula, because of the absolute, the relative reference concept, what it's doing is it's changing this D3 and E3 to D2, E2, similarly D1, E1. However, when it's go further up, there is no E0 or D0, and it's getting a reference error because the reference cell is not there, right? That's the main reason we're getting this value. So maybe let's do undo, come back. Now there's one other, a very common error which we all see, hash NA. Now hash NA is one error which is normally being thrown by Excel when it doesn't know, or any of the formula is not giving you the output. So let's maybe do another undo and we'll do check the match. Now this is a match, right, which we are working on. Now let's do this. Let's change the range in which it was checking. So we are making it from B13, B3 to B13, and we are 100% sure Apple is not there. We hit enter, we see NA. Now, if you see this error will always come in if we do not see, or Excel does not find any output for any of the formula which we are running. So in case of a normal match, if we do undo and we see this, what it's doing is it's been matching from C3 to C13, and it checks for apples in the formula and it gives you the answer. But when we are checking from B3 to B13, there is no apples. So Excel doesn't know the answer of, or maybe the sequence number. So it gives you NA. I'm not sure what this error is about. And it throws you NA. Now, there are multiple ways of handling these kind of error. There is a if error and there is a if NA. There are multiple ways to handle these errors. But the main thing is to know why this error is coming. Once we know the errors, we handle it. Now, there's one other error I wanted to talk about, or maybe two other errors I'll talk about, which is not that common, but yes, good to know. So one is, let's do this, right? Let's do a sum of, sorry, let's do a sum of D3, and let's manually just type in E3. Right now we know this syntax is not right. Hit enter, it gives me a null. Now the reason it's giving a null is we are giving a range to Excel which Excel doesn't know. Right? We are saying D3 space where Excel was expecting a comma. So Excel doesn't know this range. And normally this null error always comes in when Excel doesn't know what range or what's the reference you're talking about. So normally it's not common because what we do is we type the formulas, and whenever we are typing, we give us, I mean, we don't type it like manually, I do. We type a formula, first reference, then Excel keep giving you, and if you see in the bottom as well right now, it's giving you number one, number two. So we normally follow that. So it's kind of a rare one, but it's good to know when we are getting this null. Normally null error is always there once Excel is expecting it to be a range. However, we didn't specify the correct range to work with in the Excel. Now, one last error which I want to talk about was the div 0. Now, it's again an arithmetic one, or maybe arithmetic error. Now, it's simple as the name suggests. While you divide anything with 0, you get error, right? Div error. Now, this is very common error, and it's very understandable that once we are dividing something with 0, it's always give us 0. Excel normally gives you an error. However, again, this is something which you can handle with if error or something. And normally when we do these calculations, big calculations, and we have zeros involved, we need to know this error. Again, not the common one, but yes, they are workaround for these error. Again, I was talking about if error, or there are few others methods to take care of these errors as well. So guys, if we work on Excel, it's real, or maybe if we wanted to work on anything or troubleshoot anything, we need to know what all errors is all about. And as a basic of Excel, I thought this would be a really important video to cover, where we just discuss all the errors. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.